Support for exploring the American spirit provided by Blumenthal Law Offices. Serving Southern California clients for more than 40 years, the Blumenthal Law Team, headed by attorney Virginia Blumenthal, is devoted to defending the rights of the accused. More information is online at blumenthalllawoffices.com.
Hello, I'm Mary Parks. While we use many words to describe the American spirit, such as commitment, perseverance, resilience, generosity, and passion, the truth is the American spirit at its best is the feeling we get when we see it in action or share in the experience of learning how we help each other. Our goal with this program is to bring you the inspiring stories we've found that demonstrate the American spirit, or better put, that have found us. You see, the American spirit takes place all around us. We want to help you connect with the individuals and organizations that are busy every day making an impact, solving problems, and meeting needs. I'll be your guide on this incredible journey, so pull up your chair, relax, and prepare to be inspired. The Baja 1000 is one of the most grueling motorsports events in the world. Set against the rugged landscape of the Baja Peninsula, every year since 1967, adventure seekers have pushed the envelope trying to be the first to finish the race across the peninsula. Often behind the wheel along these tough dirt trails is Kirk Dodge, a former NFL middle linebacker, no stranger to playing tough on the field.
It was a dream come true. You know, I played in high school and junior college and college, and then in 1984 I got drafted. And so I played from 1984 to 1989 with the Denver Broncos, the Houston Oilers, and the Detroit Lions. You know, it was like a 21-year-old kid, and it was a dream come true.
Star.
Well, I wouldn't say star. I was just a regular player, but I made it. It was awesome.
It's the NFL.
It's the NFL, and it was awesome.
Dodge says one of the biggest highlights of his time with the NFL was appearing on national television and later getting critiqued by his own mother.
Making it to the NFL is the experience. You know, that was one of the best things in my entire life. Making it and playing in the NFL was a dream come true.
Okay. And so now share your thoughts on today. Fast forward, you're making dreams come true for a lot of families, a lot of children.
Yeah, it's an unbelievable thing that I have an opportunity to do. You know, I started doing this with Ray 2010. First trip went down. I went down in the summer. First trip. I've never built a house before. Somebody asked me if I wanted to go down and build a house in Mexico. I'm like, sure, why not?
During those many Baja races, Dodge saw firsthand the poverty in Mexico. In a true American spirit, he vowed to begin helping families live a better life. At least once a month, Dodge travels with a group of volunteers known as Club Dust to help families in poverty-stricken areas of Mexico. He doesn't speak much Spanish, but he does know words like, "How are you?" "God bless you," and "report card."
And in 6 hours, we changed the lives of a family that's usually 3 or 4 kids. You know, a single mom, you know, or maybe somebody with a disability, and you take them from living in a shack to a house with a door, windows that has a lock. It's an unbelievable experience. You know, it's like we say, it's like a day spa for the soul. We're just going down and changing lives one person, you know, one life at a time, and it's awesome. It's an awesome experience.
Each trip, Dodge fills his pickup truck with donated supplies and bicycles for the children.
You can't get a real job in Mexico without an education, without a high school diploma. Mm-hmm. So what we do is we reward the kids for being in school. So they have to show me their report cards. And if they have straight A's, which is they're on a 10-point system, so anything with 9.5 and above, they automatically get a bike. And then the rest of the kids, we take their names out of a hat, and we still reward the kids for being in school, but the ones who get straight A's automatically get a bike.
The former NFL player and off-road racer met Ray Meltvit at church. Meltvit formed Club Dust after a trip to a small village in Mexico many years ago. He spotted a young mother scouring a dusty, dirty path for beans that had been discarded. The woman carefully picked up each small bean from the dirt, intending to cook a meal for her family.
To have that knowledge that part of life is to give back, and then that sense of that we can change the world ourselves is really can't be experienced except by coming down.
Meltvit has built a small army of volunteers who in turn build homes for struggling families. That's the American spirit in action, seeing a need and finding a way to make life better for others. Club Dust can build a home in a day. Club Dust hires locals to help with construction. Bricks are bought from the local brickmaker and laid using laborers from surrounding villages. The same workers paint the inside and outside of the tiny homes.
That family will have a decent house, raised up on bricks, window, door, lock, sleeping loft, bunk bed, tile floor, painted walls.
How do you pick the families?
Yeah, great question. So 2 ways. One, we wander down the railroad tracks and find the poorest of the poor. We have a really simple list of priorities, which nobody could argue with. Number one, single parent, father or mother with lots of kids. Top priority. That's number two. Top priority is single parent, father or mother with handicapped kid. That gets the priority. If mentally or physically handicapped, their top priority. Number two is single parent, mother or father with lots of kids.
Okay.
Number three, dual parents, lots of kids. In the end of all things, who we're building for is kids.
Catherine Horvath is one of the many volunteers making monthly trips to help across the border. Not all the volunteers go down to build houses.
Correct.
What else do they do?
There's a team that goes down to build the houses. There's people that are involved with the giving of the shoes. We have a section called donations each month that people bring gently used clothing, these shoes, sometimes, yes, and then there's a group of people that come with food donations each month, in pantry supplies for the people. There's people that come down to make lunch each time. Tomorrow I think we're doing pancakes. Tomorrow
we're calling them crepes. They're pancakes with jelly inside.
Exactly. So we call them French crepes. But we feed both the locals as well as the Americans together.
Because, like its name, club means group, or in this case, big family, Dust, of course, refers to the countryside. Through social media and a church bulletin, a few corporate donors provide shoes, non-perishable foods, and items like hotel bed sheets.
So there we just have a nice seat cover, which when we pull up at the border looks totally decent, and I'll put more sheets underneath, and we'll just put it over all the seats, and we'll put shoes underneath. So when we pull up, we look like we're going camping.
I have a paint source at a local store that gives me this paint for $5 a gallon. And I think originally it's supposed to be 80 or something like that, and then they mark it down to 20. This is oops paint that's been returned by a customer because it was the wrong color. And because they know that we're a charity, they love what we do in Mexico, they give it to me for $5 each. So we have a new sewing program where we recently brought down 9 sewing machines, and we set up a sewing co-op there, and there's a building now outfitted with the chairs and the sewing machines and everything they need to do, and we pick up the local woman and we take them to the sewing machine co-op, and they make these bags for us, and then we market these here to local people, and for $10 each, which I think is a bargain. And then that money goes towards their buying them groceries, food. So they're available here, and they're beautiful, I think.
And how do you market those here, though? They are beautiful.
We are in the process of setting up a website to sell these.
Often, families that have connected with Club Dust earn about $65 a week. So $35 sneakers or $50 bed sheets are an unreachable luxury. And what's the overall mission here? I mean, you're teaching these women to be self-sufficient?
Exactly. We're not only about coming in and giving out handouts. We'd like to teach them how to make their own money, how to live, how to take care of themselves. And so it's important to us for them to learn self-employment, and then also on the other end, the educational the importance of education that we bring as well to Club Dust.
Club Dust has started another program they call My Family. Volunteers adopt a family, promising to assist with simple, basic needs.
I've adopted their entire family. Each month I bring them a $300 food card, which they can use to buy groceries that month. For them, $300 goes a long, long way in Mexico. And I take care of all of their children. I do. And so the My Family program is just a way for us to sort of adopt a Mexican family as much as we can without bringing them back across the border with us.
Club Dust has traveled way beyond the border of Mexico. With a mission of homes and schools, volunteers went to Somalia, a complicated land of refugees and famine.
We have a branch off of Club Dust called Feeding Somalia, where we started a girls' running club over there in the city of Hargeisa. We actually negotiated with the government of Somalia in Somaliland for the first time ever to have girls run in public. Full burqas, my daughter burqa as well, face cover, the whole thing, and a friend of ours, Brenda, and we put on this beautiful race. And then in follow-up, we send over shoes from the running shoe, one of our vendors, of our donors, as well as the sandals to give to boys and girls who are in school again. Still, again, the emphasis of if you're in school, you have this ability to train for running with a friend of ours and his wife who do that. So we're just taking and moving product that's excess here and putting it to such good use that we wouldn't think of in another country. So if we run an organization that's efficient in its cost, that is, we have no overhead at Club Dust at all. Whatever overhead there is paid by us, the people who are in it. People are incredibly generous.
Finding those groups of good-hearted people with a common interest in helping others is what Club Dust sets out to accomplish almost every day.
That tension of that kid against whatever influences are saying do something different, sell drugs, become a prostitute, don't go to school, go to the factory. If we can help influence that, then we think regardless of religion, regardless of race, regardless of what side of some silly wall people are on, if we just as people agree that that's the priority, it keeps our whole project of Club Dust absolutely simple, unarguable, and most effective.
Club Dust has built more than 1,000 homes in other countries. Next on their journey to giving back, building stronger communities and schools, no matter what side of the border one may reside. That's the American spirit. Jamie Sheldon and John Bergeson are the best of friends. They met during a sporting event, an arm wrestling competition. Both are considered seasoned arm wrestlers, experienced and champions among the World Arm Wrestling League.
I'd like to take it all the way out to my fingertips and then roll it back in and actually do a little curl of my wrist too. And you can see the tendon inside my hand there flexes, inside my wrist. And then the back side, you're also getting that same movement with those tendons. And then every time you get that curl, you can really get your hand to where you can stop someone from trying to roll you out.
The two friends have clinched enough competitions to have been given monikers or nicknames. Sheldon is the Natural, and Bergeson, he's the Madman.
There's so many people in our lives, and I know Jamie's run this countless times as I have. I can bench press 500 pounds. I could beat you in arm wrestling. Well, let's arm wrestle. And you flop them over so fast, and a flop means that their hand goes like this, and you pin them down to the pad, and they go, "What'd you do? You cheated." Well, I didn't cheat. What it is that you have all this power going this way, and I have all this power going this way. It just computes differently.
Right.
And there's another thing, tendon and ligament strength. Over all these years of arm wrestling and abusing our tendons and ligaments, they get thicker and stronger and harder, and it gets to the point where when someone tries to pull on your arm, it's like trying to pull on a wall or a car. It's just it's static. It doesn't move. And that's kind of what we all aim to get. That ability to hold and go.
Every Tuesday night, Bergeson hosts an arm wrestling practice for anyone who wants to improve in the sport.
Jay, this time, take more finger around my thumb and crimp that thumb.
So you got some strong tendons in here. It's a lot about tendon strength, and obviously some forearm strength helps. So some people have weird muscles coming out of their forearms that they didn't know they had. So that's the money maker.
John, do you have the same thing?
I got no bicep, but I got a tri-tip for a
big
forearm,
ball
I
there.
guess. Yeah. That right there is a muscle that I feel is mainly developed in top rolling when you're pulling back against an opponent, because if you're in an inside move, you don't really see that so much. And so I kind of claim to fame being able to bust a hand back with those.
Yeah, we actually just finished filming for the World Arm Wrestling League, which is the league that I'm in, and I finished 14th out of the 33 finalists out of several hundred from around the world that were per weight class that we're trying to get to the finals on ESPN. So I got a little bit of TV time, placing 14th. My wife got more time than me being in the crowd.
Well, she's prettier.
She's very
that's
pretty,
fact.
and that's
So.
I can live with that, you know. But yeah, like I said, after John's tournament that I went to back in 2005, I just never looked back. I got pretty far in my 11 years. You know, I was nationally ranked in the top 3 in one of my weight classes, and now with this league out, it's just all about the league. So, you know, arm wrestling's on TV again, and we're happy, and it's just blowing up.
The sport itself dates back to ancient Egypt. Hieroglyphs even depict arm wrestling style bouts. In California, it was the Saloon Gilardi's in Petaluma, where organized wrist wrestling began in 1952. But it was the comic strip Peanuts that gave arm wrestling some major traction in the 1960s. Charles Schulz featured Snoopy traveling to Petaluma to compete for the championship, but Snoopy was disqualified for lack of thumbs. Rules state you must have to lock thumbs in order to compete. Arm sports, arm wrestling, and wrist wrestling all use the same type of table, and many arm wrestlers will have a signature style or favorite technique.
I like to say bust them back. That's my thing. I like to bust them
Bust
back. I like
their
to watch a
hand back.
guy's hand flop like this if I can. That's
Yeah.
something I personally say.
Yeah, there's different techniques, like John mentioned earlier. The top roll is almost like turning the steering wheel of your car. You're taking someone's hand and opening it up, which most people don't think. You just think, oh, let me turn the wrist in, right? Well, there's a lot of angles you can turn with the wrist. There's a lot of angles you can get with the elbow, the fingers. That's where all the technique comes in. Different pressures, down pressure, up pressure, side pressure. Then it just blows people's minds. That's the most technical sport on the planet. I always compare it to, imagine playing chess with geometry, physics, angles, and you have to be strong to do it. So as far as pulling, the idea is you want to pull somebody away from their body. So we use the term pulling whenever we refer to arm wrestling is what we're doing. So pulling.
Exactly.
So we get together and pull.
It's sort of a slang word.
Yeah.
That's all.
Slang for
In other words, we'll say AW in a comment, say on a social media post or in a text, you'll write AW, and as we all know that means arm wrestler, arm wrestling, stuff like that. So pulling is just, you know, one of those slang words. There's some other ones that, you know, like top roller is a type of position, and then there's a move called a hook, and well, you could go where that term's you're gonna be called a hooker. So it's, you know, not everything works, but some of the terms are funnier than others, I guess.
Are you a hooker?
No, I'm not.
If
I'm not
need
pretty
be,
enough.
you have to be. You got to be
Yeah.
versatile, right?
Depends. I guess it all depends on that.
Whatever techniques the duo has used in arm wrestling, they've garnered enough titles and attention to be considered among the best in the nation. These days, though, they've turned their talent of arm wrestling toward the fight against breast cancer.
2-ounce curls for the girls.
One girl in particular pulling for Lisa.
In this case, pulling for Lisa means arm wrestling for Lisa Reimer, a young mother who Sheldon and his wife Yvonne met in a Bible study class at church. 39-year-old Reimer is also wrestling, but with breast cancer. Did you ever in your wildest dreams believe you would be diagnosed with breast cancer at such a young age?
I never thought so. My mom had breast cancer and she did the BRCA test, and it came back that her daughters wouldn't have to get the test or go get tested early for early mammograms and stuff like that. And to come back and receive that news, it was devastating.
And while you were breastfeeding?
And good thing she stopped. She stopped nursing. She stopped herself.
And you think that was because of your condition?
Yeah, I think because of the discharge. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
How did you handle the news at first?
Oh, it was a hot mess. I needed family. And so after I received the news, I went to my family's house and just let it out.
The World Health Organization says, on average, every 2 minutes a woman is diagnosed with breast cancer, making it the most common cancer among women worldwide. The cost of treating breast cancer varies wildly.
Oh, medical bills just kept piling up. You get surgery and but just getting to surgery is a process, MRIs, mammograms, galactogram. I had to get a galactogram because mammogram wasn't showing anything.
I don't even know what a galactogram is.
It's a needle that they put in your nipple to try to find, because that's where it started from.
Ouch.
Yeah. They say, having a double mastectomy is hard to recover from. So
physically, mentally, emotionally, or
everything,
all of it?
Everything. I feel like I joke about it, but it does hurt that I feel like I'm Frankenstein's wife.
But you are just like millions of other women out there
definitely
who've gone through this.
Yes.
And you're alive.
And I'm alive, yeah. That's what my husband tells me, because I get frustrated of going to the doctors every week, because I go weekly. And he's all, just be thankful that you're alive. It could be worse, And I'm like, I know. But, just being in it is the hardest.
Reimer and her husband have a 3-year-old daughter and 13-year-old son. Before the cancer, she worked as a phlebotomist in a veterans hospital. Now she stays at home with the children. So what's going on in here? I see the floor torn up, I see insulation.
Well, when we bought our house, that's when we were going through the process of finding out what was wrong with me. And I was diagnosed with cancer, so everything got put on hold.
What's this?
This is my stove that I haven't...
This is the stove and you have it... Can I do this?
Yes, I haven't been able to use yet.
So for now, the house remodel is on hold. The family is self-insured, so any extra money has to go toward what the insurance plan doesn't cover.
And they say not to stress about medical bills. And they just keep coming and coming and coming. You see a doctor, you get a medical bill. You do this, you go get a medical bill. You get blood, you get a medical bill.
When she was diagnosed with breast cancer, that was a big hit, and we know a lot of people that have gone through cancer. I think everybody does, right? And this being so close to home, we wanted to help, my wife and I. And at the time, we were thinking, how could we do this? We were so busy with everything we've been doing. We just got married, we're buying a house, baby coming, and let's throw an arm wrestling tournament. I know how to do those.
My sister-in-law had been through breast cancer, and me and my wife helped a lot through that, and I'd kind of seen firsthand the carnage, if you will, of what could happen and what goes on and what doesn't go on. And so when Jamie said he wanted to throw an event for someone like that, I thought, well, shoot, I'm not the best to organizing these things. He is, but I sure would like to help.
Determination and the desire of helping others, all examples of the American spirit. So what did you think when Jamie and Yvonne said, hey, we want to help and we want to do an arm wrestling event? And
I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe that, just the kindness of my friends helping me. And yeah, how do you thank somebody for that? And I thank them. I thank them all the time, and he's all, we're family, so just no thanks. Don't say thank you. We're doing it because we love you.
have you ever arm wrestled?
I've never arm wrestled.
Wow.
But I think I should.
Well, you certainly have arm wrestled cancer, that's for sure.
Definitely.
Wow. And at this point, you seem to be winning the battle, yes?
Yes, yes.
The American spirit is evident in Lisa Reimer as well, through her grit, determination, and perseverance. Has this changed you in that, do you now feel this sisterhood with women who have gone through what you're experiencing now?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I have all my husband's friends, a couple of them have gone through breast cancer, and they call me and they check on me. If you need me, if you're having a bad day, call me. are always checking up on me.
And what constitutes a bad day?
Just thinking of all the how am I going to take care of my daughter? You know, she's a busy 3-year-old, and I was busy, and to not be busy because you're healing.
Reimer also says she found comfort and strength in reviewing social media posts of women just like herself, bravely fighting this ugly disease head on.
When I first found out that I was going to have a double mastectomy, I went on Instagram and I started following, these women. They were my inspiration. And if they can do it, then I can do it. I can do it. I'm going to be okay.
Arm wrestlers in general, I mean, 3-4 times a year you're going to see an event that's benefiting somebody, a cousin, a friend, a family member, something, right, for sure. Arm wrestling is not arm wrestling, really. It's a family. We just get together and arm wrestle together, that's all. We're just one big family, though, in reality. It really is a family deal. It really is. Yeah. Every bit of the way. Like I said, I've been around arm wrestling since 1995, and there's people that I would consider blood every day of my life, and we've only met through arm wrestling. That's all we've ever done. Right. Yeah. I would go as far as they needed me to, as well. And I know they would do the same for me, like me and this guy. It's endless. It's a weird bond, but it is there.
When I say American spirit, what do you think of?
Living the American dream.
That right there, that American flag, everything I'm here for, everything I get to do, all my freedoms, that's the American spirit to me. Yeah.
Courage,
absolutely.
inspiration.
Yes. Being able to help friends.
Like when people ask me what I do for a living, I inspire and motivate. That's what I do. Whether it has to be at the gym, at a nutritional supplement store, coaching arm wrestling, talking to friends, just keeping everybody positive. That's the American spirit.
Sheldon is training and building his strength so he can continue pulling for Lisa.
We hope you enjoyed today's American Spirit stories. I can tell you how humbled we are each and every time we learn about what is being accomplished in our communities by the generous acts of the individuals we profile. Amazingly, our greatest challenge is deciding which stories we have time to tell and which ones must wait for another day. It's actually rewarding and inspiring to know there are so many amazing people doing such great things for our communities. Please join us again as we continue exploring the American spirit. I'm Mary Parks.